I put my phone on the table and then I go to toilet but it is okay.
Yeah, if you did that in the States, your phone would be gone. Absolutely gone.
Connect,
World
world peace. Let us introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm from the U.S. I have a cat and a dog, and I like to ride my bicycle. And I'm an English teacher.
Let us introduce your country.
My country is the United States. It's kind of hard to introduce my country because there's so many states. I claim New Mexico. I was born in Iowa, but I lived most of my life in New Mexico, so that's why I say I claim New Mexico. There's so many states inside of the United States. Even if you meet someone from New Mexico, or if you meet someone from a different state, they would have totally different answers for however they would say or explain anything. If you were to introduce Korea, it's so much more simpler because it's a smaller space of land, a smaller space of culture. Whereas the United States is you take South Korea and you double it and triple it and quadruple it into so much more land. You can't judge a specific area based off of one specific person because the United States is a mixture of so many different cultures and minds and people. So I think that would be the best way that I would introduce my country.
You were living in U.S. and Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Then New Mexico is nearby Mexico?
Yes.
Ah.
It's the southwest of U.S. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and then Mexico. So I am in New Mexico. If you want to get into the history of Mexico, New Mexico used to be Mexico, but the U.S. bought it. So New Mexico and Arizona used to be part of Mexico. It is called New Mexico because it is new. It's not Mexico, but it's still new. It's the New Mexico. Yeah.
When did you come to Korea?
So I came to Korea in November after Thanksgiving 2022.
Why do you live in Korea, specifically in Busan?
I moved to Busan specifically because my mother is from Busan, so I'm half Korean. If I'm going to go to Korea, I'm going to go where my mother is born, and I want to experience and live what she did. That's why I chose Busan. But even before, I did a lot of research, and I found that Seoul is quite busy and crowded. And I think Busan is also busy and crowded, but it's in a different way. Korea's always been calling my name, so I thought, why not Busan?
So have you visited Seoul?
No.
No.
I visited Seoul once, only because my family was visiting, but it was for one day and one day only.
Then how was it, this Busan?
I haven't really experienced much of other cities in Korea, so it's hard to really answer that question because I'm not trying to judge any city based off of just one experience. But what I've experienced so far, I really do enjoy Busan. I'm glad I chose to live in this city. I am very excited to learn more and experience more as the days go by.
What do you like, especially in Busan?
Busan compared to Seoul is just the attitude, I think, because in my experience in other major cities and smaller cities is that the major cities are always very business, very busy, very go, go, go. And we just have to do our business and there's no meet anyone else. There's no, I have time for something else. It's I just have to do. Busan is similar in that way. There's a lot of people who are there's the Bali aspect of the Korean society. That's just Korea in general. I don't think that's strictly to Busan, so I don't want to just say that's Busan, but I think Busan is the second major metropolis in Korea. So when you look at it, it's you don't get the people that are just strictly business, strictly about doing things and making things happen. Things still happen in Busan and magic still happens. It's at a slightly slower pace and it's more on a personal space because you have more time to give to people around you.
So you are teaching some English in Korea, in Busan, in academy or in where?
Hagwon.
Hagwon. Then how was about the teaching?
I teach kindergarten and elementary at a Hagwon. It's been almost 2 years and I really enjoy it. I love teaching. Children are they haven't been introduced to anything much negative in the world. So I think they have much more open minds to possibilities and what they can learn and do. And I think that teaching them has been a privilege.
So you like your job?
Exactly. I enjoy teaching the children. I don't necessarily enjoy the aspect in which teachers are appreciated, but I don't think that's for this conversation.
Do they listen to your word well, or
I think it depends on the students that you have, because I think I've been blessed with my set of students. They are very open and like to learn, whereas I have other coworkers who have students who are very like wild and just like wanting to run around and move. So they're much more difficult to teach. I think if anyone wants to teach English in Korea, it definitely depends on what set of children you get. No one teacher is going to give you the answer of how your students will react.
Korea is a good place for foreigners to live?
Yes and no.
Oh,
I think yes, because there's lots of opportunity. There's many moments when you run across other Koreans who are very fascinated with you as a foreigner who speaks English, but I don't know if it's always the best. I think it's very situational, depending on who you are and what you're looking for and what you want to experience.
so what is the biggest cultural difference between Korea and US?
A major cultural difference that would have to definitely be, well, actually, there's two things. There is public transportation. Depending on where you live in the United States, there is a reliable transportation, a subway. Subways are pretty reliable, whereas buses are not as reliable. Whereas Korea has both subway and buses, and both of them are very reliable. You know, you have the screens that show you what time they will show up, how many minutes. You have the app that even tells you, it's like matches with the screens, so very reliable. You know, if you have to show up on time, you can very much rely on the app and the screens by the bus stations. Back in the States, it's not as reliable. Many times you'll show up late to work just because like you thought the bus would show up on time and it didn't. The other part of the cultural difference is definitely, you know, being able to leave your personal items in a cafe without them getting taken. I definitely appreciate that in Korea, because you can go to a cafe, you can go to a bar, you can go to any place basically and leave your bag and know in confidence that it won't be touched, that no one will take it, no one will open it, no one will try to do anything with it. Definitely appreciate Korea for that.
I put my phone on the table and then I go to toilet, but it is okay.
Yeah, if you did that in the States, you know, your phone would be gone.
Wow.
If your phone would be gone, yes, absolutely gone. If you left anything on the table, there's no CCTV to like protect you. There's like, it's gone. It's gone.
What are the best thing and worst thing about Korea?
I like to think positively about any country or anything that I think about in general. And so the thing that I think that is best out of Korea is definitely the way they handle their recycling and their trash. Because when I first moved here, I had to research really well on how to throw away my trash, because it wasn't just like put all your trash in one bag. It was like, no, put your food waste in a specific area, put your plastic in a certain area, put your glass in a certain area, put your plastic bags in a certain area. And I was like, okay, whoa. But like at the same time, you can't, like not all food waste is food waste, you know. It's like you can't put eggshells and you can't put avocado seeds and avocado shells, or you can't put onion shells, because I don't even know why. But I definitely think that the way that Korea handles their recycling and their trash is very efficient. I mean, it's sometimes stinky just because there's so many bags on the side of the road, but that I think leads into what I think might be the worst part of Korea, is that they lack trash bins. They lack areas for people to get rid of their waste. I've been to Japan and they do the same thing, and they seem to not have the issue. And I understand like pack in, pack out. Like if you have anything to throw away, you throw it away when you get home. That makes sense. But I think sometimes in public spaces like parks and subways, you should probably have like access to trash. You would probably have less trash in bushes and whatnot. There was more public trash bins, but I understand that that also comes along with like staffing that has to like empty those trash bins. So like I get it, but I think that would be like the best and the worst.
In your free time,
In my free time?
what are you doing?
What am I doing? Here?
Yeah.
In my free time, I mean, working at schools, doesn't give me much free time because during the daytime I'm teaching. In the evening times when I get home, it's not that exciting. I usually just like food prep for the next day. So I have my lunch and I like to play video games. I like to hang out with my friends, at least the friends I've made in Korea. I like to drink. I like to go out drinking and dancing. Of course, the beach when the weather is nice. I like to do that also.
You like dancing?
Yeah, I love dancing when the music is good.
Oh, so do you usually go to the dancing class?
I don't do dancing class. I do on the weekends. I will hang out with my friends, and then we usually end up at a dancing club, assuming they allow foreigners in. Because not all clubs allow foreigners in. FYI.
Do you like Korean food?
Yes, I know. I think a lot of Korean food is like hot, like not like spicy hot, but like temperature hot. And I still don't understand why Koreans will eat hot soup in the middle of summer. I will not, and I don't think I will ever understand why they're like, yeah, let's eat some hot soup. Like maybe because the restaurant's like fully has a good AC unit or aircon. But I didn't like much seafood when I first moved here, but I'm beginning to like it more and more. I do a lot of cooking at home, so when it comes to like eating, I usually just like I make more like Americanized food for myself. And then when I'm craving Korean food, I either go out to eat or I've made some like pajan and like sometimes I just like a simple like rice and kimchi like stir fry. So.
Do you want to live in Korea more, or do you want to come back?
I think that I'm a very like a unique individual because I moved here with like a mission in mind. So I don't really have a plan on leaving Korea until my mission has been completed. So I'm definitely gonna probably stay living here until I fulfill some type of aspect that I've been lacking.
Okay, lastly, tell to those who want to come to Korea.
If you want to come to Korea, the thing I would probably tell you is make sure that you have, make sure that your documents in order, you have everything like placed so that you can work here and get a visa, because otherwise you would just be visiting as a tourist, and I think a tourist is only like a 3-month situation. If you want to stay here long term, definitely make sure that you have some kind of way to secure a visa. Also, be prepared for Koreans to stare at you for a long time because you're a foreigner and not every Korean is used to seeing a foreigner. I think those are the only 2 things I can think of on the top of my head.
Let's look around here.
Look around.
Yeah.